So we are living through a crisis right now, and most people don't even realize what is coming. This is impacting millions and millions of people here in the United States, and it is going to get worse according to experts. Now, here's what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about places like Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Boston, places like that, and specifically their downtown locations. Now, I'm going to address what's going on in just a minute, but before I do, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button, and if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So what is happening in certain cities like Seattle and San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Boston, and places like that? Well, it has to do with what is going on in downtown locations. Recently, I was in downtown Seattle, just driving through, and it was a mess. I saw buildings were boarded up. I saw businesses were closed down. There were homeless people that were urinating on the street, and it just got worse from there. But look at this. It says downtown LA slammed as third world, as shocking video shows homeless camped out on trash-covered sidewalks after setting fire in the middle of the road. With Elon Musk summing up eyesore in one word, wow. Now, here's what I can tell you. Here in the Seattle area, in downtown Seattle, we see homeless people light fires under overpasses, on bridges. We see tents get burnt on the side of the road. This is something that we continue to see over and over again. But experts believe that this is actually going to get worse. That as soon as we see this commercial real estate crisis hit us, which is going to happen within the next year, we are going to see more businesses leave the area. We're going to see police officers be pretty much troubled just to go into downtown locations. And again, this is all over. Look at this one right here. This says downtown Salt Lake City in crisis. It says after years on a downward trend, crime in Salt Lake City has shot back up, impacting residents, business owners, and the workforce of downtown. This is not just in Salt Lake City though. We continue to see crime increase, and it just so happens, based off of history and facts, that when we see the homeless population increase in a city or in a certain section of the city, it just so happens that crime goes up as well. We see more assault victims. We see more theft in the area, right? That's just something that we see. Well, it doesn't stop in Salt Lake City. Look at this one. It says Oregon City forces Supreme Court to contend with the national homelessness crisis. Oregon is getting hit in multiple cities. Here's another one. It says in downtown Portland's fentanyl crisis, Oregon leaders declare emergency. It says the city, county, and state governments declared an emergency surrounding fentanyl, the deadly synthetic opioid, though the announcement won't include additional funding. All over the United States, we are seeing crisis after crisis. The problem is there's no funding to back it. And even if Congress were to come out and give some additional funding, the problem is that funding would be too little, too late. It's just not enough. Well, it doesn't stop there either. Look what's going on in New York. And this is happening all over, okay? We see this all over in New York, and my guess is it's only going to get worse. People are living on the street. They're walking through the subway just to stay out of the cold, stay off the streets, stay, somewhat undercover. That's what they're doing. But here's what I can tell you. Things are going to get worse. As soon as businesses start to leave the area, as soon as restaurants, again, leave the area, the homeless population will move. Either they move into certain vacant buildings and almost claim them under squatters' rights, or they will move into places where there are businesses. Because you know how homeless people get some of their money, or the majority of homeless people get their money, is by begging. They ask people for a little bit of help. Give me $1 here, give me $5 there, 50 cents there. At the end of the day, they have enough for some meals. Well, this is the reason why experts believe this is a crisis that we're living through. They say that as businesses leave, and I'll just use downtown Seattle for example, as we saw businesses leave the area, restaurants would close down. There were no businesses there, so workers weren't coming in. They were not giving the homeless population some additional change. And then on top of that, the restaurants that shut down, well, they're not there anymore, so they're not giving leftovers to the homeless. They're not throwing away their leftovers and putting them outside so people can come and pick them up. They're not there. So guess what? The homeless are going hungry. So because of that, they move. They change locations. Just look at this. It says, the real estate nightmare unfolding in downtown St. Louis. It says the office district is empty with boarded up towers, copper thieves, and failing retail. Even the Panera outlet shut down. The city is desperately trying to reverse the doom loop. Interesting. That's in St. Louis. Okay? What I've been telling you is these downtown locations are the ones that are going to be impacted first. It's just starting. This one in St. Louis, this article is from April 9th. Okay? The article about Portland, about their fentanyl crisis right here, this was January 30th. What about the downtown Salt Lake City? I believe that one was from the beginning of this year as well. Okay? The downtown LA, this article right here, this one. This was written on March 30th. All this stuff is just now happening. We are seeing food prices everywhere in the United States are going up. But again, I bring this to your attention because experts believe the homelessness crisis is going to spread. It's not meaning that everybody's going to be homeless. That's not at all what they mean. What it means is we are going to feel the impacts because of the homeless people that are moving from location to location or from city to city. This is something that's going to spread, and as soon as it does, they're expecting more cities are going to struggle because they have to go and fund more police officers to check in on the homeless to keep those certain areas safe and protected. Now, I want to show you one last thing. It says DC braces for funding crisis as the downtown area struggles financially. It says local officials hint at tax increases and program cuts ahead of fiscal 2025 budget. This is exactly what we're going to see. We are going to see, in order to fund the homelessness crisis, in order to fund the struggles of certain businesses, what local officials all over the United States are going to ask for? Tax increases, property tax increases. We are going to see this. And as soon as we do, we are going to see more and more Americans, more and more taxpayers struggle to pay their bills, pay their credit card, their car payment, their mortgage, their rent, medical insurance, all that stuff. It's going to go out the window. So again, it starts as a downtown crisis, but it will easily spread all over the United States. So I will leave you with that, but let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you live or been in the downtown area in any city, what is it looking like? Are there more homeless people? And are businesses shutting down? Let me know down in the comment section below. That is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.